You've probably seen them together today, smiling, laughing, and high-fiving on each other's podcasts, dropping new product launches like it's nothing and promoting their massive beverage brand, Prime. But let's rewind to the beginning, back when Logan Paul and KSI were anything but friends. In fact, they were bitter enemies, throwing verbal jabs and actual punches in front of millions of fans. It all began at the tail end of 2017, during a time when Logan Paul was the biggest thing on YouTube. He was vlogging every single day, his brand was expanding, and his following was exploding. But just as quickly as his star rose, it plummeted. The infamous Suicide Forest video in Japan was a punch to the gut of not just Logan's career, but to the entire influencer community. Logan, in what he later admitted was a reckless decision, filmed a video in Aokigahara, the infamous Suicide Forest, showing the body of a man who had taken his life. The backlash was immediate and global. YouTube pulled ads from his channel, sponsors dropped him, and his reputation was shattered overnight. For many, Logan Paul became the poster child for everything wrong with influencer culture. Across the pond, KSI, Olajide Olatunji, was in a completely different space. While Logan was dealing with the fallout of his controversial actions, KSI was quietly and steadily building his empire. He had already made a name for himself as one of the biggest YouTubers in the UK, known for his gaming videos, comedic skits, and most recently, his music career. KSI's growth was relentless, and by early 2018, he had over 18 million subscribers on YouTube. But KSI wasn't content with just dominating YouTube. In February 2018, he did something nobody saw coming. After defeating fellow YouTuber Joe Weller in a highly publicized boxing match, KSI called out Logan Paul and his brother Jake Paul. In front of a packed arena with cameras rolling, KSI looked directly into the lens and issued a challenge. "Logan Paul, Jake Paul, any of the Pauls, I don't care," he declared, sparking the fire of what would soon become the most talked about boxing rivalry on the internet. For Logan, still reeling from his PR disaster, this challenge came at just the right time. It wasn't just an opportunity to fight, it was a chance for redemption. Logan saw this as a way to change the narrative, to prove that he wasn't the villain everyone had made him out to be. And so, in typical Logan Paul fashion, he accepted. The stage was set for a clash that would captivate millions. As soon as the fight was confirmed, the entire YouTube community erupted. This wasn't just about boxing, it was about pride, reputation, and the future of these two creators. Over the next few months, the tension between Logan and KSI built up like a pressure cooker. Both started training, posting vlogs of their progress, and hyping up the match in every way possible. The rivalry didn't stop with training videos. Diss tracks began to drop, and the internet couldn't get enough of them. KSI's On Point wasn't just a rap, it was a full-blown roast of Logan with every line designed to cut deep. He threw in references to Logan's mistakes, poked fun at his over-the-top persona, and made sure the world knew he wasn't backing down. Logan, not one to take the heat lying down, responded with his own diss track, "Goodbye, KSI." His video was slick, polished, and filled with disses, but also a sense of mockery, especially towards KSI's perceived lack of musical ability. The back and forth between the two became more than just music. It was a battle for who would emerge as the true king of YouTube. The press conferences before the fight were chaotic. YouTube creators turned into boxing promoters, creating moments that were so intense, they were meme-worthy. Every stare-down, every heated exchange was dissected by fans. And when the fight finally arrived in August 2018, it wasn't just a YouTube boxing match, it was an event. Manchester Arena was packed with over 21,000 fans, and millions more tuned in through PPV streams to watch Logan Paul and KSI square off in the ring. The energy was palpable. The world watched as these two digital giants went head-to-head, not just for the title of Best YouTuber Boxer, but for the very soul of their public personas. The fight itself was intense. KSI came at Logan with aggression, pushing the pace, while Logan looked to counter with his speed and skill. 6 rounds later, it ended in a majority draw, a decision that shocked everyone. No clear winner, no redemption. Just an open question. What next? The drama didn't end there. In fact, it set the stage for an even bigger showdown. The rematch was confirmed for November 9th, 2019, and this time, the stakes were raised. It was no longer just an influencer fight. This was going professional. Gloves got smaller, training intensified, and the focus was on more than just throwing punches. It was about who could truly outbox the other. The build-up to the rematch was nothing short of insane. KSI kept his training methods mostly under wraps, focusing on perfecting his technique with pro coaches. Meanwhile, Logan used his Impulsive podcast to promote the fight, creating hype and bringing attention to every detail. He even addressed rumors about steroid use and talked about his rigorous training camps and videos. The drama reached fever pitch. Then, on November 9th, 2019, they met again at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. It wasn't just a fight, it was a spectacle. KSI dropped Logan with a right hook in the 3rd round. Logan responded with heart and skill, but a controversial illegal punch, a blow to the back of KSI's head, cost him 2 points, leading to a split decision victory for KSI. But the real shock came afterward. Despite the intense rivalry, despite the years of taunting and trash talk, they shook hands. The war was over, but something deeper had just begun. That handshake marked the beginning of a new chapter. What started as 2 guys trying to destroy each other's careers became a genuine respect for each other. In the months that followed, Logan and KSI started showing up on each other's podcasts. They exchanged ideas, shared laughs, and eventually, business meetings took place. The tension melted away, and what emerged was an unexpected partnership. By 2022, Logan and KSI made a massive announcement. They were teaming up, not just for another podcast or another collaboration, but for a whole new venture. Prime Hydration, a sports drink that was set to take the world by storm. It wasn't just another product, it was a statement. Prime was their chance to show that 2 former enemies could build something far bigger than just their individual brands. The launch was explosive. The drink flew off shelves within hours of hitting the market, and the hype was real. UFC picked up Prime as a sponsor. WWE followed suit, and suddenly, Prime wasn't just a drink, it was a global phenomenon. Logan and KSI had gone from enemies to partners, from boxing opponents to business moguls. Prime became a symbol of how conflict could be channeled into something positive, something bigger than both of them. In just over a year, Prime reached $250 million in sales, and it didn't stop there. They expanded into more markets, and the drink's success seemed unstoppable. Looking back, the story of Logan Paul and KSI isn't just about boxing, it's about growth. It's about 2 guys who used their public drama to transform their lives, to redeem themselves, and to build something incredible together. It's a tale of how rivalry can fuel ambition, how respect can be earned, and how personal redemption can lead to something bigger than fame or fortune. And so, when you crack open a bottle of Prime, you're not just drinking hydration. You're tasting the legacy of 2 YouTubers who turned their rivalry into business gold, proving that even the most bitter of battles can lead to the sweetest of victories.